Hello, welcome to another video, where today I'm here to show you that fall isn't the only time of year that the forest is awash with color. And that's because some trees you might not think have flowers do indeed have flowers. Would you look at those? They can be a little hard to see from a distance and just look like a blur of red, but those are some incredible flowers. But before we get into it, why is any of this interesting? I mean, personally, it's just outright interesting to me, but I think I can do some convincing. One, they are nice to look at, probably not as nice as some of the more showy flowers, but they're nice to look at, especially in the spring when there's not much to look at. Also, there's a lot of tactile feeling. I'll show you some aspen catkins, willow catkins, that are very soft. It's amazingly so. And also, you can use these flowers to identify trees, especially if you're on the fence. Oftentimes, two trees will look very similar, especially in the winter, until they get their flowers or catkins, and then it's a lot easier to figure out what they are. While they might be the showiest, the red maples aren't the only tree species that is active in this way at this time of year. For example, this is a native gray alder. Like a lot of trees, these flowers are wind-pollinated, which is why I have to do this voiceover. These are the male ones releasing the pollen into the wind, and this right here is the female ones that are receiving the pollen from the male flowers. And sometimes it's incredibly impressive at a distance. I'm not quite sure whether this is a native willow species or a non-native one. I'm still trying to figure it out, but lately I've been leaning on native. Either way, just look at all those silvery white bells on the top of those branches. When it comes to willow and aspen species, I think these are called catkins, and they are incredibly soft to the touch. Now here's a close-up you don't often get to see. This is a big-tooth aspen tree that has fallen over but is still alive. And similarly to the willow, it has these really soft catkins. In fact, these ones are even softer. They honestly look like little fur tails. And here's another thing you don't often get to see. Not as showy as perhaps the red maple over there, but this is an American elm, and it's blooming. For those who don't know, most of these American elm trees died out about a couple decades ago. So it's really nice not only to see one that's this big, but also is producing more American elms. Anyway, that's all for today. As always, I do hope you learned something, and I wish you the best. Till next time.